Hello and welcome to the Big Business Show. I'm delighted to be here tonight with Perry Groves, a former Arsenal footballer, businessman, and we're going to be talking a bit with Perry about his business, a little bit about his best-selling book, and just having a general chat. So we're over at Chelmsford City at the event tonight where Perry will be speaking with Nigel. You know, for all the Chelmsford City fans who are out there, I hope you really enjoyed the chat, the backstage chat that we're having, and we'll go from there. But thank you, Perry, for agreeing to be on the show. Great to see you. And I just wanted to start off, I mean, a little bit when I was looking, doing a bit of research, I saw that your book was, a massive sort of seller. And I read that it actually outsold Rio Ferdinand's book, Frank Lampard's book as well. So I just wanted to hear more about the book, and if you could tell us a bit about what that was about and how you became a best-selling author.
Ashley Cole's
and Ashley Cole.
Apart from that, don't
Ashley Cole and Stephen Gerrard as well. Wow.
I'd like to think it was really, really clever marketing, but it came out at the right time because the little left back, Arsenal's third ever greatest left back, because we've got Nigel and Kenny Sansom. So he was just about to leave us and go to the corporate club up the road. Yeah. And he actually, in his book, it came out that Arsenal was on new contract negotiations and he nearly crashed his car because they only offered him 60 grand a week. And it came across in his book that he felt that Arsenal were lucky to have him, and Arsenal were privileged to have him. Yeah. When my book was, it was beyond my wildest dreams, and a lot of fans actually that I thought I'd play for Arsenal.
The name of the book, isn't it?
Yeah, We All Live in a Perry Groves World. That was the only thing that I didn't choose. That was the publishers. They chose the title. I had no say on that, but that's because of the song that they sing. Yeah. And my book hopefully came across as someone that was unbelievably privileged to play for Arsenal, and it is a massive privilege. Like one of the world's biggest clubs. Yeah. And it's an honour to play for them, and then you play for them, you get paid, and then you leave. Where Ashley Cole's over it. So then the fans had a choice: someone who loved playing for the club and didn't think they owed him anything, and someone who thought that they owed him everything. So you had a choice, and I remember getting phoned up by the publishing company, John Blake Publishing, and saying that they wanted to do my book, and my second word was off because I thought it was my mate mucking about. So because I was like an average player in the scheme at Arsenal, and I thought, what do you want to do a book about me for? And it was just more about, they did sort of more cult books.
But you were definitely a character that had a lot of passion, weren't you, for the club? And I think that was, were well respected within the club, weren't you?
Yeah, well, it goes back family ties. My dad's uncle Vic was captain of Arsenal, Vic Groves, in the mid 50s, early 60s. So. At least I was the second best player in our family. Actually, no, to be fair, no, the third, because my dad thinks he's better than me as well. But,
was he really? Right.
But so the family ties, when you, players like Robbie Keane, you see him kissing the badge and saying it was their boyhood team. He's had about 8 teams, and it was like Celtic and Inter Milan and Wolves, all his Coventry, all his boy teams. But the Gooners were my boyhood team. So.
And what did you love about obviously playing at the top level? What was the best part of it for you?
It was just testing yourself. When you first start playing football, you don't play for the money. It's not when you're a kid. Kids don't run around. You see, when in my year, you saw Match of the Day on a Saturday night, and then you just wanted to be as good as you could be. And in the old days, there was no academies. Like these days, they take players at embryos now, don't they? Like they're at the birth. They say, boy, he looks quite like big or quite athletic. But in our era, you went training for a team. You might sign school. You went from your school team to your district team to your county team. Then if you're lucky enough to get a trial, then you sign schoolboy, then you become apprentice, and then you swept the stands, you cleaned everybody's boots, and you did all the kit. And then if you was any good, then you got yourself into the first team. So that's where I started at Colchester. And it was just, look, I'm not being funny, it's not a proper job. It's not, you're getting paid to do what you love doing. There's not many people who have that privilege where you wake up. And the pressure, and you talk about the players talk about being under pressure. The only pressure on is on the Saturday to perform. That is it, because you're judged. Unlike many jobs, you're judged in 90 minutes. You could be brilliant all week during the training. You miss a couple of chances on the Saturday, or you miss a couple of tackles, or make a goalkeeper throws one in, and then that's all you're judged on. But there's no pressure. Pressure is if people go work for 18 hours, go down the mines, or have to get up at 6 in the morning to pay the mortgage. There's no pressure.
So being obviously you're a businessman now, you've got a business which I love the concept of, which I'll ask you a couple of questions on in a moment. But what is the difference really for you being a professional footballer to being in business? What are the differences for you? Because there's a lot of discipline, I think, that people overlook from the football, that probably could be transferred. So what were the transferable skills as well?
To be honest, I knew when I was playing football, I get paid at the end of the month. So that's the difference, and putting invoices out and waiting for 30 days for people to pay you. I just think you can take a lot from football into like the skills of running the business, because we started it obviously from scratch.
Yeah.
I think you need a desire, you need a belief in the business that you're going to start. You need to be able to take the knockbacks, and when things don't quite work that well, you need to be able to bounce back from those knockbacks and then learn from your mistakes. You need to have passion about it, which you need to have about football as well. And our big thing, Josh Landy is my partner.
Yeah.
When we first started it, it was about honesty and integrity,
which is fantastic. Good principles.
Exactly, yeah. And I think people know when they deal with us that everything we say we're honest and true about. And if we don't like anything, we'll tell people. We won't be underhanded.
So the concept is play with legends, and that's the name, which is it's a great concept. And you basically allow people to come and really fulfil their dreams almost, to play with a football legend thing. So is it good to sort of bring the happiness to people when they're doing it? Is that what you love about it? Or
basically that's what it is. I mean, what we found was the concept started. It was Nigel and myself were asked to play in Josh Landy's best mates. They played a stag game at Cheshire United, and Nigel was in one team, Big Goon is me in another. And the lads loved it, and we played in the game, went in the bar afterwards, told a few stories, had a few pints, and that was as much about it as actually playing in the game, because it's, as you said there, it's fans trying to want to meet their heroes.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
So then we thought there's a business concept here, and it was then getting the network of building up the players that I knew.
Yeah.
And it's very rare that you have a business that gives back something to people.
It's a wow experience, and one of the things that we teach on the seminars is like giving a wow to people. Yeah. And that is unique, and that's what I really liked about it when I was reading about it and stuff.
You have to have a wow factor, and 9 times out of 10, whoever's, if it's if it's the stag or if it's a birthday or whatever the surprise is, the wow factor is when their hero walks in and they don't know that. We go from Teddy Sheringham, like Paul Mercer, Matt Le Tissier, to old has-beens like myself and Darren Anderton, obviously, because he's been great. So we've got about probably 90 players, and it's not just the elite level. We've had Cheltenham Town fans phone up and say, "Oh, can you get me, this player?" Because even at their level, if you're going to watch Cheltenham Town play, there'll be a player there who's your star. So the wow factor is exactly the same. If that's your hero, and we always make sure as well that all the players got the same principles. It's not just about turning up, getting paid, and looking at your watch and thinking, "Well, I'm still here." It's about going in and talking and sharing your stories,
and enjoying it as well.
And all the players, they're always the last. They're the last. They're the ones who they have to stay for an hour and a half afterwards, and they all stay for longer. And they tell stories, have a few pints, and it's a good way for the players to put something back. And I think we're probably the last generation that will probably happen. Because I can't see the modern day player, doing that.
Which makes it even more unique.
Exactly. Yeah.
No, well, that's absolutely fantastic. So who's the best player then that you've got in your books? Who still cuts it and does really well?
Well,
Nigel.
Nigel. Yeah, but Nigel's one of those annoying. He's one of those annoying players. I think he's probably put on a gram since he stopped playing, so he's still really fit, Nigel. But it varies. Like Teddy Sheringham is still like jogging around.
So the Stags ever try to take the star out or anything, Or
no, do you know what? Very rare. That's because no one's got anything to prove. Everybody's there to have a good time. So you got like Paul Merson, say Darren Anderton's really fit, Robbie Fowler. So there's different, sorts of levels of players. Some are carrying a bit of weight like myself. Some of them are still really fit. But what normally happens is, they're a little bit hungover from the Friday. And then, so it's a bit of a skirmish for about 20-25 minutes, and then it all calms down a little bit. But every player will always do something in a game, or 2 things in a game, where the players then go, that's why you was a top player. They'll do something where they nutmeg someone, or lock the goalkeeper, or just have a touch, or take it out there, and they go, that's the difference. And that is the wow factor as well.
No, brilliant. Okay, well that's some fabulous feedback. I mean, the other thing I wanted to ask you really about business, for a lot of the followers, the people who watch the show, are business owners out there that might want to start their business, they might have a big business, or might want to grow what they've got. Have you got sort of your 5 tips for success? You would say.
Quit throwing that on me.
A couple of tips you would say for a business owner out there that you've maybe picked up along the way that have really helped you drive your business and create great results.
I think if you have an idea and then just run it by a few people. But you've got to have the belief that your business is going to work, and don't be delusional. I mean, if you don't start off too big, don't have too many big aspirations. Start off sort of like a little bit smaller and gradually see if you can build
to
it
get
up.
proof of concept.
Exactly, and then what you do is, what we've found is, and what our feedback to us is, you build up a reputation.
Yeah.
Once you've built up a reputation of providing a quality product, and you know that people know you can deliver, and they know that you're honest, then you get a lot of repeat business and you get a lot of referrals. So I just think, to be honest, is having the belief, having the drive. Don't be worried about, because you're not going to. There's no such thing as failure. It's not succeeding the first time. So if it doesn't work the first time, and you think, oh, you have to tweak it a little bit. That's great. And then and if you've got an idea as well, don't say why, say why not, because there's a lot of people doubt themselves, and you think, right, no, instead of saying and having all negative stuff, try and go on the positive side.
Perfect advice there, I think. Thank you very much, Perry. That's a fantastic interview.
No worries.
I'm really looking forward to you speaking tonight. And
it's not going that far. This is good as it gets.
Tom, man,
Cheers.
thank you very much. I appreciate that. Thank you.